should be getting a day and a half off if we're going to work Friday because the rest of the company is off and we have to work.
Are you working on Friday?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I grind.
Sorry about that.
I'm a grinder.
Yeah, you are.
I'm a grinder.
Grindy McGrinderson. That's what we call you. 'Tis the season, everybody. Obviously, Thanksgiving is tomorrow. Sort of kicks off the holiday season. I was at a home yesterday in Michigan, and they had their Christmas decorations up. And I said, oh my gosh, it's so festive in here. When did you put your Christmas decorations up? And she said November 1st. And I thought, that's aggressive.
That's when you can fit it in. It's when you can fit it in.
You're packing up your Halloween costumes and just rolling out the Yuletide log. Apparently.
What about Thanksgiving decorations? Do you guys put up Thanksgiving decorations?
What would a Thanksgiving decoration even entail?
Turkeys.
Oh, we have. Yeah, turkeys.
No, a turkey is not an attractive bird. I'm not like putting a bunch of turkey decor around my house.
You're telling me you've not had your children make the hand turkeys at school and you put those up?
Those are adorable.
No, you just said they were ugly.
No, I'm talking about real turkeys.
You just said they were ugly.
Real turkeys are ugly.
Yeah, they are ugly, but they taste good. They're really
No,
good.
they don't.
They're better than a normal.
No. I will stand on this. I will die on this hill. Turkey tastes terrible.
Turkey in general or wild turkey?
Wild turkey, no thank you.
I don't think I've ever had wild turkey.
Oh.
It's much better than a butterball.
Is it the alcohol?
That's what I was talking about.
Oh, that stuff. Yeah, that's bad.
That is, you take a shot of that and you put your hand in front of your face to see if you can still see.
It's just a little hair on your chest.
It's not as bad as Old Crow. Have you ever had Old Crow? Oh.
Is it the same type of thing?
It's worse.
Just straight
It's
moonshine.
disgusting.
Okay. Turkey is bad. I will die on that hill. But Chewy, 'tis the season for one of your favorite things ever. One of the things that made you jump into our ESPN Milwaukee, Jen, Gabe, and Chewy talk and text line, the private one, the other day. What about this time of year really gets under your skin?
The car commercials. They drive me nuts. And I'm talking more Lexus. I'm talking Mercedes. The commercials are great. The one commercial, I think it was Mercedes, where they had them lined up like the reindeer.
Okay.
You remember that commercial or
Yep.
no? They look very nice. They're done good. But I'm sorry. If you're buying your wife that for Christmas, you're a knob. Because all you're doing is showing. You're a poser. And I know posers. I don't like posers. Do you guys know what posers are?
Apparently a guy who buys his wife a car for Christmas.
Look at me.
Oh, okay.
They're look at me's. I can't stand look at me's. I've been in clubs that have a lot of look at me's. I have a handful of look at me's down here. See, me and Angie have classifications for different kind of people. Do you guys have them?
No.
We'll go. There's a poser. They're posers. There's toppers. You know what a topper is?
You tell a story, and then they've got to tell a story that tops it.
There you go. Toppers. What's another one? Climbers. You know what climbers are? Jen, I bet you deal with climbers all the time. You have to deal with climbers all the time.
Yeah, but just for fun, tell us what climbers are.
When you go to the mothership and someone comes over to you and starts talking to you, and then someone more important to you walks in the door, they ditch you and go right over to them.
Okay.
Those are climbers.
Okay.
Do you experience that at the mothership?
Yeah, for sure. What do you think motivates all of this behavior?
Selfishness.
He's a doctor, Jen. He's not a psychologist.
No, I do have a minor. Well, if I wanted to finish it, I would have a minor in psychology.
I'm pretty sure the finishing is what leads to having. I'm pretty sure is instrumental to the having.
I have no problems buying your wife a car. None whatsoever. But do it the day after Christmas.
Or any other day, actually.
But I guess I'm at a point in my, if I were to buy my wife something that expensive, we got to talk about this. hey, honey, do you want a new car? Like, there's a conversation that needs to happen before she gets a new vehicle, and she needs to be involved in said conversation. I can't just show up with a big red bow and a car in our driveway. Hey, dear, look what I got you for Christmas. Like, that's just not going to fly.
This has got to be spouse exclusive, though, right, Chew? Your frustration, your ire, your complaint. Because, again, a lot of people buy their kids cars for their 16th birthday. Now, I'm not saying it's a brand new Mercedes for everybody.
I mean, most of those are beaters. They don't make commercials for those when you're pulling the rust bucket into the driveway.
If you're smart, you will buy a 16-year-old a beater/rust bucket, but not everyone does. So, like, people buy their kids cars. You don't have an issue with that, right? This is just the Christmas morning, bow on top, snow on the driveway. Honey, you have to step outside to see what I got you. That's where you're saying this is absurd.
Yeah. It's for look at me. It's like, what'd you buy your wife? Well, I bought her a car. I bought her a Lexus.
Do you feel the same way about jewelry? Like if somebody's like, what did you buy your wife?
I think jewelry.
Go ahead.
No, jewelry are fine. I think women don't really like jewelry. Or at least mine doesn't.
Depends on the woman, I believe.
But also, like the jewelry, I mean, yes, can you get jewelry that is going to be as expensive as a Lexus? Sure you can. More often than not, you're not getting the necklace you're getting your wife for the holidays or a birthday is not going to be costing you 50+ grand.
Like Gabe, I don't know why. Well, I'm not going to say it because I'll be taking people out. No, I won't be. I'll say it anyways.
Yeah.
Why everyone doesn't buy a lab-grown diamond?
Oh, yeah.
Do you know? Can you tell the difference by looking at it, whether that's a real diamond or a lab-grown?
I'm guessing if you were to go to the jewelry center and our boy Dean the Dancing Machine would get one of those, like things you put up to your eye to look at the diamonds, I'm guessing a trained professional would be able to tell under some sort of microscope. I don't think that you, the untrained eye, is going to be able to tell the difference.
Yeah. Because Ange is looking for an upgrade, and I'm like, all right, let's just do lab grown. She's like, yeah, that's fine. I don't care. Yes or no, Jen?
Yeah, it doesn't bother me.
Doesn't bother me one
I think
bit.
it's another status symbol. It's another, like, step up the ladder, right? Like, if you want to be somewhat pretentious, if you want to be, like, you can, and you could say, no, I want the rarest of rare. I want a mined from the caves or whatever. Like, you can do all of those things if you want to.
Just lie too. No, it's not like so. Who's going to prove it?
So
what are they going to do?
So my daughter about 10 years ago, Jen, got earrings made from her grandmother's ring or something like that, right? Into earrings. And I'm like, no way. So I had cubic zirconium made up for her, and she didn't know. And I had her wear those. Well, what'd she do?
Lost one of the earrings.
She lost them, came home, bawling her eyes out. She was so mad, and I went, Gianna, those are the earrings right there. Those were fake. And then she was happy again.
Gotta trick the kids sometimes.
That has got to be one of your best all-time moves, Chew. Okay,
Yeah.
you've told a lot of stories over the years, and while we chuckle at some of your developments, that one has got to go in the Hall of Fame. That's a Mount Rushmore move by you, Chew.
Proactive, because I have the mind of a kid, so I kind of know. It's easy for me to relate.
Well, so J Dome is weighing in on the ESPN Milwaukee YouTube stream saying, isn't Chewy exactly the person that those commercials are geared towards? And from a tax bracket standpoint, yes. But Chew and Ange, well, you guys are notoriously... what is the phrase you use? Frugal. Yes.
Yeah.
I was going to say tighter than two coats of paint because that's what Chewy has said in the past. But
she asked me, now I have a boat down here. It's a fine boat. I'm not big on boating. You know what I love? Friends that have boats.
I was about to say, going on your buddy's boat.
She's like, do you want a new boat? And I'm like, nope. Why? As a piece that sits on the dock that hasn't left in 6 months? No, I'm good. I'm good with my 22-foot cobia.
What would happen to you, Chew, if you just showed up with the biggest, most expensive Lexus SUV in the driveway for Christmas and you had a bow on it for your wife? How upset would she be?
I'd get a point. No, Gabe, there'd just be a point. 1 point. That's all she'd do.
Wait, hold on.
Bring
hold
it
on.
back.
Okay, thank you. When you said I'd get a point, I thought maybe you were like tabulating points, collecting points, like some sort of star chart that my daughter had when she would go potty on the potty, right? You get 100 stars.
An M&M.
We go over to Target and you get to pick out whatever you want. So when you say you get a point, you mean a physical finger. Take it back.
Yep.
Okay.
Bring it back. I don't buy her anything.
Out.
Because I bought her I don't know, 7-8 years ago. I bought her a nice pair of boots, Jen, when the tall boots, there's another name for them.
Looking for Louis Vuitton?
Nope, he's looking for a word you can't say on the radio, so thank you for restraining yourself, Chewy.
And she returned them right away, and I'm like, fine, I'm not, I'm out. I'll buy you a case of your favorite wine. That's it. So I just.
Lots of people weighing in on the ESPN Milwaukee Talk and Text line saying that I don't know how to make turkey. I don't make turkey, so I don't know how I could know how to make turkey. Colin says, if turkey tastes bad, you've made it wrong. Chef Ed says, Jen, if cooked and basted properly, turkey is an excellent tasting poultry. Saying that turkey tastes bad is absurd. Obviously, you don't know what you're doing in the kitchen. Chef Ed, I don't cook turkey. I just want to put that out there.
Who cooks the turkey?
Well, my dad always cooked the turkey. The last 2 years, it's been sort of a team effort. It's been a delegating sort of thing in the old family.
How have the results been?
Rather not say.
kind of Christmas vacation.
I think you already said.
If you say so. All right, we're going to play a little game today of Start, Bench, Cut. Throughout the show on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, Start, Bench, Cut. Chew, are you familiar with the old Start, Bench, Cut?
Is it kind of like
Yep.
FMK?
Yep. but
All right, I got
clean holiday version, if you will, with a sports twist. So we begin with Thanksgiving activity.
Yes. Kind of.
Yes. Yes. I was just worried that he was going to say the actual words. Well, just the one word, actually.
Yep.
But yes.
Which you said on the air before.
I have, yes. Start, bench, cut. All right, we'll begin today's Start, Bench, Cut with Thanksgiving Day activities. You have the Macy's Day Parade on television. You have a turkey trot, and you have a turkey bowl. Chew, start, bench, cut, parade, turkey trot, turkey bowl.
I'm benching the parade. What's a turkey bowl? Football?
Yeah.
Yeah, backyard.
I'm all in on that.
So that's a starter.
So what would that be?
That would be start.
There we
That
go.
would start. So I'm cutting the parade, and what's the other one?
Turkey trot, 5K.
Oh, God. All right, I got to rethink this.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, you got to cut the trot.
Yeah, I got to cut, I got to cut that, and then bench. Bench is the other one, the parade. The parade's terrible. It hasn't evolved. It's the same characters.
How
Woody Woodpecker.
would
It's just
it evolve? Just out of curiosity. They do new balloons.
Yeah.
You got Bluey out there roaming the streets of New York now.
It's not like they've got a 60-year-old Snoopy that they're just trotting out there every year.
They might have a 6-year.
Well, they're updating the balloon.
Oh,
The best
yeah.
part of the parade is when one of them gets a hole in it and then it causes chaos.
That doesn't happen.
Yeah.
That's like in the movies or
that's
something like
Or
that. You got
Seinfeld.
this thing going.
It's not quite as theatric, but they definitely get gashes and then come tumbling down, and you got people down there
Trying to catch it, and then they're covered. Yeah.
All right,
Parades have
800-990-3776. We're playing Start, Bench, Cut today as we get you ready for the Thanksgiving holiday. Our first one is parade, turkey trot, turkey bowl. Gabe, your Start, Bench, Cut?
I will start the trot, bench the parade. I'm cutting the turkey bowl.
Wait, you are starting the trot?
Yeah, I'll start the trot.
Chewy, cut the
running guy
trot.
now.
Big running guy.
What?
But just because my
Miles over here.
Does one
Gabe,
half
why no-
marathon.
It's two. Thank
why
you very
no
much.
turkey
Two
bowl?
half
Thank you.
marathons.
Thank you.
Now he's starting the turkey trot on Thanksgiving Day.
Well, where do you think there are more injuries, the turkey bowl or the turkey trot?
100% the turkey bowl.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
need to get that. Families do need to get rid of the turkey bowl.
If you don't have a torn meniscus
No
by the end of
way.
the day, you're doing it wrong.
Our family's doing it because mine's always just with like aged friends. So it's there's not as many injuries. Well, in the past there wasn't as many injuries.
Yeah,
Those
if it's a
things
bunch of
started to
20-year-olds, sure.
Yeah, those things started to pile up as we got into our 30s, which I've stopped competing in them.
Yeah.
But I feel like our families doing that?
I mean, I'm sure some
Yes,
are.
my son already reffed the game with this family that lives down here from Muskego. He already reffed the game. Yeah.
We got to take a break on
injuries.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Lots of stuff to get to this morning as the Packers get ready for the Dolphins tomorrow. Did I see that Tua has never won a game where the temperature dips below 40 degrees? What is the temperature supposed to be this weekend? 20-something? Low 30s? It's going to be a cold one up at the frozen tundra. Tua better bring his ear warmers. We'll continue with that conversation next.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy are back after this on 94.5 ESPN.
We still have a nice quiet ride around the area. Light volume, full freeway speeds around the area. No incidents really to report. So if you're going to get out and start traveling, now might be a good time to get on the road since everything's looking pretty good. And check out the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Today, mostly cloudy with a high of 41. Tonight, mostly cloudy, a low of 26. Weather's brought to you by National Liquor Mart at 16th and National in Milwaukee. Packed with the best beer, liquor, seltzer, and spirit deals in town. Open 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. daily, where your satisfaction is their plan of action. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
This is Matt Meitner, owner of Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Do you find yourself talking to your dog but feel like she's not listening to you?
Bella, sit!
Are you constantly repeating yourself but she's not following your directions?
Sit! Sit!
Frustrating, isn't it? At Sit Means Sit Dog Training, we want to help you have a happy, confident, and obedient dog, and we also want to make the training process an enjoyable and worthwhile experience. Contact Sit Means Sit today to schedule a free consultation so we can create a customized training program so you are able to have the dog you want and deserve.
Sit means sit dog training. Sorry, we don't train husbands, wives, or kids.
Change the way you do business and take more control of the payment process with Fifth Third Bank's Treasury Management Solutions. Their market expertise and managed services streamline the entire payment process and integrate with your existing systems, giving you more control than ever. With their suite of payment solutions, you will soon recognize new revenue sources that can save time, offset operating costs, and improve the bottom line, all customized for your business. Fifth Third Bank National Association. Custom solutions built around your goals. Member FDIC.
It started with a prediction.
Gonna go out there and play basketball and win.
And how many games?
6.
It became the culture.
Chance of Bucks in 6.
Being a Bucks fan means you live and breathe Bucks in 6. Brandon Jennings created the prophecy. Tune into Behind the Bucks, the story of Brandon Jennings on the Bucks Plus audio network. Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and streaming wherever you get your podcasts.
That's for the culture.
Be prepared for power outages with a Generac home standby generator from Adams. Storms are unpredictable, and when the power goes out, your life is disrupted. Heat, air conditioning, refrigeration, phones, all gone. With a Generac generator, your power will be automatically restored whether you're home or away. Rated Wisconsin's #1 Generac dealer, Adams provides sales, installation, maintenance, and 24/7 service from all locations. Learn why Adams is your best choice in providing power peace of mind. Visit adamspower.com today.
Everybody's buzzing about Quick Trip's possibly pilfered potatoes. We have them priced so low, some say they're illegal. Swipe potato fries, potatoes ill-gotten, stash browns. Come on, these are not hot potatoes. But it is a quick hot savings. You might say it's a steal. No, don't say that. 99 cents for a 5-pound bag. 5 pounds of potatoes under $1? What a heist. A perfect score for those large meal gatherings. Quick Trip. We got your taters covered.
It's Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Though, right?
Yeah.
Kind of like a, oof, like instead of a, huh.
Yeah. But that's all part of
You know
taking the
what I'm
training
talking
law.
about.
I do, but it's just such funny noises.
Did this get sexual or something? I don't know about it. What the hell just happened?
On 94.5 ESPN.
It's cold out there. A lot of golf courses, they're shut down, but that does not mean the golf season needs to end for you because you can head to X Golf, located inside American Family Field. It is open during the off-season and year-round. beautiful location overlooking left field. And I love going there. I play League over there, but it's a great way to keep your game sharp. And because of the state-of-the-art technology they have in those simulators, might be a good time to go get a lesson from my buddy Andy Barrett, who is the PGA Pro over at X Golf at American Family Field. And because it's such a great space overlooking left field there in American Family Field, it's a great space to host your next event as well. You have the simulators, plenty of space, plenty of bar space, great food as well. Check them out. Book that sim time. XGolf, amfamfield.com.
It does feel like the Green Bay Packers just played against the 49ers, and yet here we are, just over 24 hours from them playing the Dolphins at Lambeau Field tomorrow night.
Saturday on a Wednesday.
So we were playing Start Bench Cut here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy in advance of Thanksgiving holiday. And on the Start Bench Cut list, I did also put noon, 3:15 night slot. Chew, if you had to decide Start Bench Cut, a noon game, a 3:15 game, or the night slot, which the Packers will be in tomorrow against the Dolphins, how would you handle that?
I would cut the late game. I would bench the second game and play the first one.
I should have known that. I should have known it was going to go based on noon, then 3:15, and then since there's a very good chance you'll miss the second, third, and fourth quarters of the night game, you're cutting it.
Yeah, because you can still have a nice Thanksgiving with a noon game. I'm talking as a player. Okay, so they're playing at home. You're done at 3. You're probably home by 4. You can have a nice Thanksgiving at 5. The other games you can't. You can't have it before or after the middle game, and you certainly can't have it before the late game because of tryptophan, basically.
Because of tryptophan.
Basically. The only reason people know what tryptophan is because of Thanksgiving, right? Like that's
in Seinfeld, yes.
What's the Seinfeld?
Well, I know it because
there's
almost
a Seinfeld
killed
episode where they really lean into the tryptophan. I don't know if it's even in syndication anymore because, like, the indication is that Jerry is drugging his girlfriend with wine and turkey, and she passes out because of the tryptophan, so he can play with her toy collection.
Yeah, but I took it as a supplement, Gabe, in college, and they had to recall it because it was killing people.
Yeah, you had told me that before.
Wait, what? You were taking tryptophan as a supplement? Why?
Supplement.
What was it supposed to be good for? Look at Joshy goes immediately to Google.
Yeah, don't worry, Joshy. I have Googled this one before. He is 100% correct.
I believe it's an amino acid, and I think the recall was probably 90s-ish. And, a handful of guys were taking it on BC, and then they recalled it, thank God, because it was killing some people, which isn't good.
Had no idea that was going to happen. Do we have Adam Schefter coming up in just a few minutes here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy Gang?
Most certainly do.
Okay, because I was going to get to this Ryan Clark soundbite where he talks about the Packers' creativity, but it feels like maybe we should save it. Joshy, what say you?
I think we should save it.
Yeah, because we got to get to Adam in a minute 30 or something like that.
Yeah, got to get there soon.
You want to do another Start Bench Cut in the meantime until we get to Adam Schefter? All right, on the old Start Bench Cut list today, we've got mashed potatoes, stuffing, and green bean casserole. Gabe, Start Bench Cut your sides.
Right in that order. You start the mashed potatoes, you bench the stuffing, and you cut the green bean casserole.
No.
Green bean casserole, get it out of here.
No, stuffing is better than mashed potatoes. You make stuffing right. It's better than mashed potatoes.
Not if you make the mashed potatoes right.
Mashed potatoes is the quarterback of Thanksgiving. Okay, everyone thinks it's the turkey. It is definitely mashed potatoes. I am cut stuffing, bench green bean
What the hell
casserole.
are you putting on your plate at Thanksgiving? You don't like turkey. You hate the mashed potatoes.
Yeah.
Is it just literally stuffing? You're walking away with a plate of stuffing? What are we doing?
Here's what I got. I got ham, okay? Nice honey glazed ham. I got a couple of dinner rolls with some soft butter on them. I got the stuffing. I got a corn casserole, which is incredible. Brought it to the Friendsgiving last weekend, guys.
That sounds
good. A little bit of jalapeno in there for a little kick. It was tray was empty tray. So a little corn casserole, and then I make my dad's noodles, my dad's egg noodles that I make every year now, and so that's on my plate. I got a full plate of Thanksgiving stuff.
Are they buttered noodles? What do you mean noodles?
Egg noodles. You make the pasta, you throw them in a pot with
noodles.
Well, no, you throw them in with diced chicken and chicken broth, and then you let the flour cook off of the egg noodles, and it becomes a cream-based It's pretty good. I haven't made you guys eat my noodles yet. Well, that sounded.
Is that a family thing or
it sounded very inappropriate.
Yeah. We should probably go to break.
Yeah, Adam Schefter is coming up next on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Never miss out on a second of the show. Find Jen, Gabe, and Chewy on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts with Wisconsin On Demand. Sponsored by Celsius Essential Energy Drink.
We have a great ride shaping up so far this morning. No major incidents up on the board, and whatever traffic is out there is moving along at a good clip. Volume's picking up a little bit, but like I said, everything is rolling along really, really well. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Today, mostly cloudy with a high of 41. Tonight, mostly cloudy, a low of 26. Weather is brought to you by the Bartolotta Restaurants, offering the perfect holiday gift, a memorable experience with a Bartolotta gift card. Purchase yours at bartolottas.com. And happy holidays, Milwaukee. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Landworks is the locally owned landscape company to elevate the look of your home or business. Are you tired of fumbling through hundreds of feet of holiday lights just to find out they burn out last season? Let Landworks handle the holiday decorating for you this year so you can focus on what really matters. From festive holiday arrangements to dazzling light displays, their expert designers will work with you to build a display that fits your style and budget. Make your home or business the talk of the neighborhood this year with holiday decorating from Landworks. Visit landworkswisconsin.com.
This is Jeff Johnson.
And I'm Jason Johnson.
And together, we're part of Johnson & Sons Paving.
Get your parking lot ready now for spring and avoid paying for extra repairs later on.
We'll come out to your property and walk it with you.
Potholes, damaged asphalt, damaged concrete, standing water, you name it. We'll talk to you about your options and fix it.
Plan a budget, set up an overall schedule with Johnson & Sons Paving.
It's all about doing it right the first time. Call us today to schedule a walkthrough and free estimate.
JohnsonandSonsPaving.com.
ESPN Milwaukee's Jen Latta here. 'Tis the season for celebrating at St. Kate the Arts Hotel. Join them this holiday season for special events to get you in the festive mood. From a spectacular brunch with Santa to the holiday marketplace and one-of-a-kind dinner and a show experiences, St. Kate has a celebration happening nearly every week through the holiday season. Make a night of it and extend the experience by booking an overnight stay at St. Kate. Special packages are now available. Celebrate the holidays with St. Kate. Learn more by visiting stkatearts.com/holidays.
Are you having the holiday horrors trying to figure out the perfect gift for everyone on your list? So many people, so few ideas. It's terrifying. But guess what? I have the perfect gift you can give everyone. Hands-free Skechers slip-ins. That's right, hands-free Skechers slip-ins. They're the perfect gift for a mother, for a father, grandma, grandpa, for the kids, for a friend, for a coworker, and for your boss who you're hoping gives you that big holiday bonus. For everybody. Because Skechers slip-ins don't cost a ton of money. They last a long time and people will appreciate them forever. Every time they slip your gift on, they will smile. And why are they smiling? Because with Skechers slip-ins, they'll never have to touch their shoes again. Just step into them and they're on, with no bending down, no retying the laces, and you are good to go. And they're so easy to give. No more wandering the store, no more scrolling online wondering what to get people. Give the newest thing, the most convenient change in footwear that's ever been. Hands-free Skechers slip-ins. Find Skechers slip-ins for the holidays at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
Swing into action to experience Sweetgrass and Sage Run in 2025. The Island Resort and Casino stay and play packages are a hole-in-one. By blending award-winning golf with exceptional amenities, we've become the premier resort destination in the Midwest. But don't wait. These popular packages fill up fast. To book your 2025 golf getaway and secure your spot on the green, visit islandresortgolf.com today.
28 years on the Packers.
I would flat out cut his ass to send a message.
37 years playing in the NFL.
This is the best win in the Matt LaFleur era.
87 years covering the Packers.
And that's what happened in the fourth quarter. That's all. He has been really good.
And 46 years of being on ESPN.
I said to Herman Edwards one time, it's hard to win a game in the NFL. He said, John, it's hard to make a first down.
There's no place with more experience when it comes to talking about the green and gold. All day, every day. We are 94.5 ESPN. everyone's go-to source for all NFL news.
And we're going to get right to some breaking news here that just came down. This tweet from Adam Schefter.
Adam's on the phone. Adam, you have more news? What do you got?
They're going with another move.
And he was the man who knows all, Adam Schefter.
It's ESPN NFL insider Adam Schefter.
Initially, I was told from the jump 3 to 4 weeks. I was told initially that the games that were most likely for him to come back were either the Vikings in week 4 or the Rams in week 5.
Adam Schefter on JGC is sponsored by Island Resort and Casino. Gaming, casual, and fine dining. 2 golf courses, a luxury spa, and live entertainment. Your total experience is at the Island.
We are so thankful to have Adam Schefter on our show each and every week to talk a little NFL, to talk a little Turkey Day, to talk all of the things. Hello, Adam. Happy Thanksgiving to you and yours. How are you doing today?
Happy Thanksgiving to everybody. Appreciate it and hope it's a great holiday for everybody.
So we are playing Start, Bench, Cut this morning on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, and we just did our food category, which was mashed potatoes, stuffing, or as some people call it, dressing, and green bean casserole. Start, Bench, Cut, mashed potatoes, stuffing, green bean casserole. Adam.
I wouldn't bench any of them around, especially around Thanksgiving. I don't want to be criticized for any of them. Like, to me, they're all worthwhile. I could prioritize them. Like, I like some better than others. I'm not benching any of them. They all have a spot on the roster. They're all safe. I'm not cutting anybody, but I would prioritize them and I would make it in order. Well, 3 would be mashed potatoes, 2 would be green bean casserole, and 1 would be the stuffing.
Thank you. I said stuffing number 1, too. It's the best of that list.
There you go, Jen.
Why so
on the same page?
Why so anti mashed potatoes, you and Jen? It's the glue. No? Carbs? Is it the carbs, Adam?
Not for me.
I've had mashed potatoes that taste like glue, so maybe that's it.
Like mashed potatoes, it just depends. Like, some of them a little powdery, yuck. Some of them real authentic and tasty. I've had good mashed potatoes and I've had really bad mashed potatoes. And so the bad knocks them down to 3 because I'm worried that we're going to get a bad batch of mashed potatoes here.
Fair enough. Adam, why is the league so obstinate? Why don't they follow the model that the NBA and NHL does when it comes to playoffs? They reseed the teams based upon their regular season schedule. It just seems fair to me because I see a disaster coming this year where the Packers, who are probably going to finish with a pretty good schedule, are going to have to go on the road and play a team that doesn't have as good a record. Just doesn't seem fair to me.
That's the way the league has done it. The league has always placed a premium on winning your division, even if it is with a poor record. And they've always rewarded division winners with home games. And I don't disagree with your point, but they feel pretty strongly about that. The competition committee's never wavered about that. I've never heard discussion to change it. And so the Packers, in all probability, barring the unforeseen, they're going to have to head on the road this year for the postseason and make their noise there, which, by the way, they had no problem doing last year, right? None.
Mm-hmm. Well, and until they lost in that second round. But, Adam, with Thanksgiving, the Packers playing the night game, they introduced this, over a decade ago, having that primetime game in addition to the Lions hosting, the Cowboys hosting. Have they ever thought of a team like the Packers just consistently hosting that game, or do they like moving it around from place to place?
What's interesting is that Detroit and Dallas volunteered to hold these games when nobody else would. And Thanksgiving Day games were not the thing that they are today. And so that was back in the day. Tex Schramm, I heard a clip from John Madden this week about that. Like, Tex Schramm volunteered, and so his thinking, and I'll always defer to John Madden's thinking, was that as long as Detroit and Dallas want to hold these games, they always should, and the only way that they should lose it would be if they voluntarily withdrew their services from wanting to hold it. Now, the third game has become something of a rotating deal. And I think that the league probably likes it that way because it can always schedule in what it believes to be an attractive matchup. And it's sure itself of some type of compelling game. Like this year, you get the Lions-Bears. It's a good game. Second game Giants, Cowboys. I mean, it's Giants, Cowboys. It's football. We're going to watch, but it's like, okay.
Is it?
And
Is
then
it?
You get the Packers.
We don't even know who's starting
Dolphins
at quarterback for the Giants. I don't know if that's football.
Wait, I think Tommy DeVito will start, but okay, like we're hoping that Tommy DeVito's okay to start on Thanksgiving Day. Like that's kind of where we're at. So, I think that the league likes having this third game that it can always rotate around. Plus, the truth of the matter is that they're playing all these Thursday night games now, and they're playing these international games, and so you have to budget it out and juggle it in such a way that it works out favorably so that you can position somebody on Thanksgiving night without there being too many scheduling conflicts. How's that water, Chewy?
That's delish. Tastes like
Better
potatoes.
than the mashed potatoes, I'll bet.
Tastes like potatoes.
Yikes. Adam, I guess on your podcast you were talking about this sliding doors moment that affected the Green Bay Packers with Xavier McKinney. Ultimately, what did you learn about why the New York Giants decided not to franchise tag Xavier McKinney, which then made him available to Green Bay, and now he is having another breakout year, been really the crux of that defense?
Well, it's funny. I remember that pretty well, actually. And Xavier McKinney did not want to be tagged. He wanted to be able to test the free agent market. And he told the Giants that if you don't tag me, you will be given a realistic chance to sign that. Now, a lot of people don't believe that because they just want to see, the players trying to get to the market. But I think Xavier McKinney meant like he was willing to give the Giants a option to re-sign him and bring him back, even if he wasn't tagged. The Giants, I believe, were concerned that, of all teams, the Philadelphia Eagles were going to sign Xavier McKinney. That was their concern, that he was going to wind up in the division playing against them. They really thought that there was a chance he would go there, but the Eagles had their sights set on another Giants free agent, Saquon Barkley. And I don't know if the Eagles could have afforded both Barkley and McKinney. That would have been interesting. But it's part of the reason I think they're not going to sign Daniel Jones. They won't be the team. At least I'm not expecting them to be the team that signs Daniel Jones, because at that point it would almost be like trolling the Giants. You take their running back, you take their quarterback, and I don't think they're going to do that. But Xavier McKinney could have been franchised, wasn't franchised. Team was concerned he'd be with the Giants, wasn't with the Giants. Saquon wound up with the Giants, and that freed up Xavier McKinney to go to Green Bay, where he's been, as everybody there knows, unbelievable. This tied for the league lead in interceptions with 7. Giants, I don't think have picked off a pass in 10 games. Meanwhile.
Wow. Adam, you told us last week that you believe that there could be anywhere from 7 to 9 head coaching changes. How many changes do you think there'll be at the GM position? Not as many? I mean, there's already a couple out there with the Jets.
No, there never are. The GM turnover rate is much lower always than the head coaching turnover rate. And we've already seen one GM fired this year. We saw Joe Douglas get fired after Robert Saleh got fired. So when we're looking at GMs this year, I'm just looking through my computer here. Like, we got the obvious teams that are out there right now. GM spots. Well, I think we're looking at maybe 3 spots. Maybe 3 spots. I would set the over and under on GM changes at 3, whereas the head coaches, I would set it at 7.
The reason I ask you that is because we read about what's going on with the Jets, them bringing Tannenbaum in and them releasing or whatever this list of potential GMs. And a guy that I know and love, John Dorsey, and I asked the panel here, they don't even know where he's been in Detroit the last 4 years.
Correct.
I think John just had that. He had that little hiccup in Chicago where I think that was more of a coaching problem. But people don't realize that he was instrumental with Andy Reid.
Yeah.
In Cleveland, sorry. He was instrumental with Kansas City during the Mahomes draft and all of that. I just don't understand the Jets. Why wouldn't you hire a guy like that who's done it before? He's worked under Ron Wolf. He's done it himself. It's just mind-boggling to me. Would you agree? I mean, I think John Dorsey's a hell of a GM.
I agree with you. And by the way, to me, the Jets have to come up with somebody that's experienced. You can't go to some young hotshot first-time GM. I don't think there.
Yeah, I agree.
They need in New York. In New York, they need a known commodity. I think. Although I don't know, like the young hotshot Mike Borgazzi in Kansas City, I think is going to be a great GM one day. So that's a choice they have to make. But I do think that if they go young GM, they have to go experienced coach. They have to get somebody with experience in there. And they may have to get two people with experience in there. That's up to them to figure out.
Shefty, it's been a down year for Tyreek Hill as the Dolphins come into Green Bay tomorrow. How much of that has been Tua's out? How much of that has been the wrist injury he's been dealing with?
I really think it's more Tua than anything else. The wrist injury complicates it, but Tua operates that offense at such a high level. Look at Tua's numbers when he's been back. He's been great, really productive, really strong numbers. They're a different offense, a different team with Tua playing quarterback. And when he's not out there, excuse me, when he's not out there, the team doesn't function. Thank you. The team doesn't function nearly as well. So if you take him out of the lineup for, 4 games? Yeah. Tyreek's numbers are clearly going to be down, and they were. And sorry that, but Skylar Thompson and Tim Boyle, they're not going to operate things the same way that Tua does.
Adam, you realize, God bless America, my voice.
What is it, Jen?
Good grief.
You need some taters.
I know. Well, I need a cough drop or something. Adam, you realize you are 2-0 on your list of predictions for the Green Bay Packers since we chatted. You said that they would beat the Bears. You said that they would beat the Niners. You also believe that they will beat the Dolphins if, things have held pat since we talked about that. You still on that trajectory?
Wait, hold on. When did I say that I believe they'll beat the Dolphins?
You said that you thought they would lose 2 games the rest of the stretch to the Detroit Lions and to the Minnesota Vikings. Oh, are you pivoting on it? You can pivot on it. Going based on what you said a couple weeks ago.
We were laying out a big picture, right? But
yes.
I'm able to adjust it. I'm going to say this. Tomorrow night's game is going to be closer and tougher than people realize.
I agree.
Yeah.
Adam, let me ask you this. Adam, let's fast forward to the next week. Because I believe they're going to face Detroit. They're going to face Detroit again in the playoffs. Green Bay plays Detroit next week. Would it be better if they lose to them by a big number or beat them? From a psychological standpoint, because I said lose to them.
This feels like a trick question.
You know what? I remember. I don't know why this one stands out to me, but I remember the Patriots just stomping all over the Jets in a Monday night game in the playoffs when Rex Ryan was the coach, and the Jets had to travel up to Foxborough for the opening round playoff game. And I always remember this. I sat down, happened to be home that day, pregame show, came home, and we sat down to watch the game, me and my dad. And my dad goes, "Oh, Jets are going to just get crushed today." And I said, "Oh, you just the fact that you are saying that tells me everything I need to know. That means they're winning the game." And they did. And I don't think next week's game has any bearing on what would happen with a Packers-Lions potential playoff matchup. I just don't. I mean, if they lose, they lose. If they win, they win. I actually would argue maybe a win would be better. Like they could see, hey, we could beat this team in Detroit. Fine, no problem. But I don't think it matters what happens next week as it pertains to how their potential postseason matchup would play out.
Chewy, I want to know why you think a blowout would be a good thing.
I don't know. I just go back to those years where we had to go to Dallas every year, sometimes twice. And when we started out, we're like, I think we can win. I mean, and they were a much better team until it got to the point. I think we played them in the regular season and played them tough. And then that playoff game came down to an interception by Favre in the last quarter of the game where it was back and forth, and it was one of those games where whoever has the ball last is going to win. So I mean, psychology plays a lot, and I don't know if the fans know that going into game to game against different teams. I don't know. I always had the theory, Adam, that it's very hard to beat a good team 3 times in 1 year.
Well, they don't have to worry about that. They've already lost to him once.
Well, yeah, so that's why.
I'm just saying from the Detroit standpoint.
And then they play
then they beat them in the playoffs.
It's tough.
Holmgren always preached that. Yeah,
I think it's better to win this game from a psychological standpoint. I think you can carry that momentum.
But we can't overlook, to Adam's point, we can't overlook this Dolphins game.
No.
This is going to be a tough game.
Correct.
And not to lean on what other people say, but I got a guy like in the financial industry. He's here in New York, and he is a diehard Dolphins fan, and he actually knows that team better than anybody does. Like, I'll call him. I'm like, "What do you think?" And he'll be like, he'll point out things. And he called me this week. He's always grumpy and angry about his Dolphins. And he goes, "They're going to win on Thursday night." I go, "They're going to win?" He goes, "They're going to win on Thursday night." I'm like, "What?" I never hear you say that. Now, again, it's just one man's opinion. But this guy's usually pretty sharp and pretty perceptive and knows his team very well. For him to say that to me, told me, this is going to be a close game.
I think the line is at 3. Some places 3.5.
3.5, I think, yeah.
Yep. All right, Adam. Good stuff from you. Have a great Thanksgiving with your family. Hopefully they don't work you too hard on Thanksgiving. I know there's games and whatnot going on, but hopefully you get to enjoy some of the Thanksgiving wares and festivities.
Well, I'm going to go with my green bean casserole and stuffing and ignore the mashed potatoes right now, Jim. We're going to get started.
100%. Just skip right over those.
Do you contribute all? Are you making anything as part of the Thanksgiving meal?
You know, what we do is we go to my wife's cousins, and there's like 40 people, and everybody brings over something. So we're bringing over pies. So that's the way it kind of goes.
Pumpkin pie, apple pie, just a whole variety. What are we talking about here?
Pecan pie tomorrow. We're bringing.
That is.
I'm out.
Yeah. Oh, get out of here.
Out.
Oh,
Chewy's
I'm
out.
out.
But he's in on mashed potatoes, but out on pecan pie. Okay.
Yeah.
You get a piece of pecan pie, you warm it up just a little bit. Fantastic.
I cannot
I've had it. I don't
think
like it.
of anything other than When Harry Met Sally when someone says pecan pie. Do you remember that scene, Adam?
Of course, yeah.
Pecan pie. Pecan pie. All right, Adam, have a great one. We'll talk to you again soon.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
He's Adam Schefter. Great to have him. We are so thankful to have Adam Schefter on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
And Adam Schefter each and every week brought to us by the Island Resort and Casino. It's a premier resort destination, the largest north of Milwaukee, with everything you like to do in one awesome location. Visit islandresortandcasino.com and book your total experience today.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy continues next on 94.5 ESPN.
The Jen, Gabe, and Chewy podcast is sponsored by Celsius Energy Drink, and I am here to tell you it makes a huge difference in my mornings. With a unique blend of essential energy and key vitamins, Celsius is your partner to an active lifestyle. My favorite, the Peach Vibe. Learn more at Celsius.com and pick up Celsius Energy Drinks today.
Progressive presents Renter's MVP's Most Valuable Possessions. Today's MVP, Tom Kelly's carbon fiber mountain bike. Because more than riding his carbon fiber mountain bike, Tom loves telling people about his carbon fiber mountain bike. Friends, family, even a local barista knows about his carbon fiber mountain bike. And that's why Tom's carbon fiber mountain bike, if you haven't heard about it, is today's MVP. Keep your most valuable possessions protected by bundling your renters and auto insurance with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
Hey folks, when it comes to Christmas trees, don't get played by foreign plastic. Just like you wouldn't replace a prize QB with a mannequin. Don't replace American Farm Fresh trees with fake foreign plastic. These farm families are the MVPs of Christmas, growing champions right here on American soil. They're not sitting on the bench. They're out there every day growing real Christmas traditions. Make the winning choice, Farm Fresh Christmas trees, not foreign plastic that pollutes. Visit GetRealKeepItReal.com to find your local farm MVP.
Saving money on everything. Now at Menards. We've got it all, from big to small. Honeywell home thermostats keep your home's temperature comfortable through every season, while saving on your heating and cooling bill. The Honeywell Home Wi-Fi Smart Thermostat has flexible programming to fit your schedule. Now on sale. Stores close Thanksgiving. View the weekly flyer and all of our great deals happening this week on Menards.com.
Save big money at Menards.
Tito's Handmade Vodka is America's original craft vodka. In 1995, Tito Beveridge built his very own distillery and put his life savings into it. Since then, he's won the unanimous Judge's Choice Double Gold Medal at the World Spirits Competition, the Chairman's Trophy for World's Best Vodka Tonic, and many others. Tito's Handmade Vodka is still made on the same land where he started it, all in Austin, Texas. Distilled from corn and gluten-free. Visit us at Tito'sVodka.com for recipes, videos, and more. Distilled and bottled in Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume, namely 80 proof. Crafted to be savored responsibly.
Stay up to date on the green and gold all season. The Green and Gold Fix podcast is brought to you by Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Luxury stay, elite play, unwind in sophisticated comfort. Win big, dine, and experience the events in Milwaukee.
Hey folks, when it comes to Christmas trees, don't get played by foreign plastic. Just like you wouldn't replace a prize QB with a mannequin. Don't replace American farm fresh trees with fake foreign plastic. These farm families are the MVPs of Christmas, growing champions right here on American soil. They're not sitting on the bench. They're out there every day growing real Christmas traditions. Make the winning choice, farm fresh Christmas trees, not foreign plastic that pollutes. Visit GetRealKeepItReal.com to find your local farm MVP.
Adam Schefter here with Vivid Seats. We've got some late-breaking news coming out of the stands. According to multiple sources, Vivid Seats fans are scoring rewards on every purchase and at a rapid pace. Obviously, these rewards are a game changer, and coupled with their MVP-worthy ticket selection, why get tickets anywhere else? Don't drop the ball this season. Shop with Vivid Seats and earn rewards on every ticket. And as the official ticketing partner of ESPN, Vivid Seats is offering you $20 off your first $200 ticket purchase with code Schefter. That's code Schefter.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
How do you get to 10 in NFL in the football game? How do you do that?
You can have 5 safeties.
That's a great point.
Which would also be a great endorsement for Derek Carr.
2 field goals, 2 safeties.
2 field goals, 2
also
safeties.
a great endorsement for the quarterback. Continue.
Yes.
What else do we have?
On 94.5 ESPN.
'Tis the season for celebrating at St. Kate the Arts Hotel. Join them this holiday season for special events that will get you in the festive mood. They've got a brunch with Santa that your kids will love, a holiday marketplace, and one-of-a-kind dinner and a show experiences. St. Kate is also celebrating every single weekend at St. Kate. Special packages now available. You can celebrate the holidays with St. Kate and learn more by visiting stkatearts.com/holidays, stkatearts.com/holidays. I want to make sure I'm clear on this, Chew, because I'm a little bit confused, but that's not anything shocking. You think...
he might be confused, too.
Chewy might be confused?
Yeah.
You think the Packers will lose one of the next 2 games. You said that. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. You would rather have them lose... If they're going to lose one of the next 2 games, you would rather have them lose to the Dolphins than the Lions. Is that correct?
I'm not sure. Okay.
So he is confused.
Do you guys remember? Hold on, and I'll get to it. Do you guys remember when Detroit was playing Green Bay at home? And I said this to Adam. And Green Bay had the win to get into the playoffs. Detroit was already eliminated. Do you guys remember that game 2 years ago?
That was Aaron Rodgers' last game as a Packer. I remember it not very fondly.
Do you remember I said the fact that Detroit isn't playing to get in the playoffs takes the pressure off them and they will play much better?
Yes, you did say that. I do remember you saying that.
So I said that from a psychological standpoint. They wouldn't play tight. They had plays that they could now put in, which they ran because it doesn't matter, and they played looser, and then they beat the Packers with a line that was probably pretty sizable. Now, there's 2 trains of thought here, Jen. One thought I have is lose to Miami and then beat Detroit, because I think that parallels last year where Detroit beat Kansas City, and that was a game where they said, here we go. Here we didn't think they were going to beat Kansas City in Lambeau. I know I didn't. And then it did, and that kind of springboarded them into like, all right, we're confident. Maybe we can get this thing rolling, and it turned out they did. The other one, I go back to Holmgren, where he would say it's very difficult for a very good team to beat a good team 3 times in 1 year. So I'm kind of torn between the two.
He's got so many philosophies on
fair?
football, he doesn't know which one to apply.
But do you guys believe that there's a psychological aspect?
Of course, yes,
NFL
absolutely,
game?
yes.
No, I think every player is a robot.
Yeah, Nick Saban was talking this week on our game day conference call about how you don't, and this is college specific, for Saban, obviously, but he was talking about how too often you don't take into account the psychological aspect, the anxiety that some guys face. And even on the call, he brought up, with college guys, he had to worry about how's his relationship with his girlfriend going? Are they on solid ground, or is he on thin ice? And how does that affect how he's going to play on Saturday? Yeah, I certainly believe that there's psychology. Between these two games, though, look, if I had my druthers, I'd like them to win them both. But if you're telling me that they're going to lose one of them, I guess I'd rather have them lose the Lions game, since it's already sort of a foregone conclusion for many people that the Lions are the best team in the NFC. So them losing to the Lions, Chew, for me, would kind of them just be kind of falling in line as we have sort of seen the NFC shake out so far. What do you think, Gabe?
I think beating the Lions proves that you belong. Because right now, the Dolphins aren't on the level of the Packers. They just aren't. They're 5-6.
But they are on a heater.
They're on a heater. But the issue with the Packers this year has been when they've tried to step up and play some of the best teams that may be ahead of them in the power rankings. The Eagles, the Vikings, the Lions. They've lost all three of those games, and really were only in one of those games. They had the ball with a chance to win at the end against Philadelphia. That's it. They didn't have the ball with a chance to go ahead in the second half in either one of those other two games, despite it being, especially the Vikings game, a little bit closer than maybe it actually was because they scored late. This is an opportunity, if you beat the Dolphins, to go into Detroit next week to prove that, yeah, we're one of the teams that can be a factor here in the NFC. And if you go into Detroit and get blown out, okay, then it's same old, same old.
But no one's saying blown out. We're just saying lose. You can lose close.
You can lose close.
And it can speak volumes about your team.
But their last two losses haven't really, they were down 28-0 and they were down 24-3 at home.
I think you have to beat up on the Dolphins this weekend. Again, Chewy's hypothesis here is that they are going to lose one of the next two. I think they are going to win both. I think they can win both. I think this is an ascending team. Chewy just groaned. I heard it.
That puts them at elite. They're not elite right now. They're not. Okay? They're good, right? But the passing game does not put them in the category of elite. It just doesn't. In fact, Tua is playing better than Jordan Love.
Well, he's got a better completion percentage for sure.
He doesn't turn the ball over as much.
Only has the one interception. I have loved reading all of the articles that have highlighted how last game against the Niners, Jordan didn't throw an interception. I'm going, we saw him throw interceptions. They were negated by penalties and other things that occurred in the game, but he certainly did throw one. Now, it didn't show up in the stat sheet. Chewy, why? Okay, here's the thing. I know you keep going back to them not being elite. I don't think they're elite right now either. I agree with you. But I think they can be. And I think you win these next two games, and all of a sudden other teams in the league have to start looking at you as an elite team. They weren't elite last year at this time a few weeks before, but they started their heater. They started their run where they started clicking off wins and figuring things out and everything sort of coming together. So that's where I think, again, we have seen this team essentially a similar iteration that has actually gotten better with the addition of Josh Jacobs. I think they can do what they did last year, which is to start clicking off wins. But again, it's got to continue. It's got to go Bears, Niners, Dolphins, Lions, bop, 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 in order for that to happen.
We can't overlook this Dolphins game, especially, Jen, you read off the statistics last week about how with the cornerbacks, their passer rating when targeted, and the only good one was Jair. Jair's not playing. This is going to be a tougher test than we want to think it is.
Jen, I think you're going 65-90. You got to go 65-80 and then 90, right? And if they won these next two games, that's essentially what they would be doing. And that's, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. We're going to see pretty quickly.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy rolls on right after this. We will continue our start, bench, cut list for Thanksgiving. Stick around.
More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
Only got a couple of broken down vehicles right now on the roads, but not really causing too much of an issue. I'm not really seeing any delays right now. One on the ramp from 84th Street to 94 westbound, another one on northbound 894 just past Beloit Road off on the right shoulder as well. Otherwise, everything else is rolling along just fine. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Today, mostly cloudy, a high of 41. Tonight, mostly cloudy, a low of 26. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Steinhoffel's biggest Black Friday sale ever is happening now. Take $100 off every $14.99. Plus, get a $100 MasterCard for every $14.99 you spend. Or choose Steinhoffel's 0% 60-month financing. Save big on all the best mattress brands. And find amazing Black Friday doorbusters, like a recliner just $199. Sofas starting at only $299. Shop in-store and online at steinhoffels.com. Steinhoffel's Black Friday sale. 1 week only.
Swing into action to experience Sweetgrass and Sage Run in 2025. The Island Resort and Casino stay and play packages are a hole-in-one. By blending award-winning golf with exceptional amenities, we've become the premier resort destination in the Midwest. But don't wait. These popular packages fill up fast. To book your 2025 golf getaway and secure your spot on the green, visit islandresortgolf.com today.
Gabe Neitzel here. Catch Jen, Gabe, and Chewy mornings 7 to 9 on 94.5 ESPN, WKTI, and WKTI HD, Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station. Showtime. The right way to start your day. This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
It's a topic you think about, but the think is very short.
Dad, do you mind? Oh. Karen, I need to ask you something. Is your father Dale Anderson?
Do you know my father?
I mean, yeah, the second one would have been nice.
So what would you trade for it?
I mean, the mother has to eat. She can't give all the food to the kids, so she's got to keep a little for herself. That's why the 3 Super Bowl rings, or the 3 Pro Bowls are staying.
This analogy.
You know? What are you guys doing?
I'm feeding him.
Yes, I see that. But why that way?
Karen, I thought I told you. My salivary glands don't function properly.
Because I got robins all over the property. Robins all over the property, and I watch birds all day long.
I was about to say, this is what you do filling your days?
This is research.
Mama's eating the first 3 worms.
Paul, you never told me about this.
Are you sure? I could have sworn I told you.
No, Paul, you didn't tell me. I think I would have remembered if you told me your father chews your food for you and spits it up into your mouth.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studios at the Avenue with Gabe Neitzel and Mark Chamorro. Here's Jen Latta.
Running her mouth, she wants to ride and she's trying to hide it. I'm cool as ever, she's too excited. Her man look like he wanna fight. He ain't doing nothing but running his mouth. Talk about it, we all.
Chef Ed weighing in saying the Packers will win by 14 against the Dolphins and get boat raced by the Lions. Of course, the line, as we mentioned, I believe 3.5 at Potawatomi Sportsbook. And if you are trying to make your wagers at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, you need to get there this weekend. Its state-of-the-art venue has dozens of self-service betting kiosks, seating for more than 200 people, a first-class bar and restaurant, VIP deck, and a broadcast booth. Bet above the rest only at Potawatomi. So Chef Ed, if he took the Packers, might win some money there on the old green and gold. One of the things that has been talked about with the Green Bay Packers offense this year, guys, has been its creativity. I've seen a lot of this. I've seen Dan Orlovsky talk about how he really likes some of the plays that Matt LaFleur is running with the personnel that he has right now. I think Josh Jacobs has a lot to do with that. Their ability to lean on him, lean on the run game, that has certainly made a difference with this season. Gabe, I believe you were saying that the run game is the identity of the 2024 Packers offense, is it not?
How can it not be? I mean, as much, especially just take a look at the last 2 games. The amount of times that Jordan Love has thrown the ball versus the amount of times they're running the football, they are 4th in the league in rushing attempts. It's very clear what the identity of this team is, what they want to do. And good on Matt LaFleur for sticking with the run. I mean, this is by far the highest they have ever ranked in rushing yards and attempts under Matt LaFleur.
Is he the biggest reason why they're 8-3 now, Chew? Is Matt LaFleur the biggest reason?
Yeah, he's a big part of it. I mean, those 2 wins with Malik were very big. But I think Miami is, and they have the 7th, Josh, I think you said the 7th ranked defense against the run with their new run game coordinator. So I don't think they're going to allow.
They are 9th and they're 16th in yards per attempt.
I think they're 7th in against the run, according to what Joshy told me earlier.
Well,
with
Joshy led you astray. Joshy led you astray. Gave you
total defense, they are 7th. In rushing defense, they are not as.
They're 9th.
Yes, 9th.
Still top 10.
Which is still top 10 with their new run game coordinator, who's doing a fine job.
And who is that again? Who is that again?
There.
No. Tell us again who that is.
Joe Barry Carroll.
Yes, that's right. That's right. Yeah.
So statistically, Gabe, this defense is better than Green Bay's, correct?
Yep, correct.
With an explosive offense. And I'm with Adam. This is not a walk in the park, I don't think. I don't think it's a walk in the park because I feel, being objective here, I would feel better with Miami coming back from a deficit right now than I would Green Bay coming back from a deficit. Just based upon how the passing game has been going the last couple weeks for teams.
Okay, so here's what I want to get to, Chew. Ryan Clark was on NFL Live this week talking about the Packers' creativity. Joshy, can we hear from Ryan Clark?
The Green Bay Packers are now the 49ers Midwest. Right? When we used to watch all the creativity of that offense, you think about that first drive, you have a play where we see Jaden Reed come out of the backfield when he catches a wheel route down the sideline. There's a Tucker Kraft screen for a touchdown later on in the game. And they also use Romeo Doubs in so many ways in between the numbers. And so when you started to watch this game, and there was one point where Kyle Shanahan was extremely frustrated. You see him screaming at the officials. I believe that's because he understood that they were out-coached, they were out-schemed, they were out-executed.
That's got to give you some confidence going forward with this offense, Chew, to the point that I was making about last year we saw this unit go on a heater. We saw them put it together and everything start to click. When you hear Ryan Clark talk about how frustrated Kyle Shanahan was this past weekend because Matt LaFleur was out coaching him, does that give you any more confidence that this team can do what it did last year in the second half of the season?
It does, but I believe they're going to be without Dobbs because he had a concussion 4 days ago. So that's going to hurt them a little bit. But, no, I would agree. I think, from a scheming standpoint, Matt LaFleur is one of the best in the NFL. They just got to clean up the crap. They got to clean up the drops. They got to clean up the penalties. And that we still are waiting for that to be cleaned up. And that's not on LaFleur. He can only call the play. He can't run out there and catch the ball for him. That's on the players.
Yeah, you can call the play that gets Christian Watson wide open down the sideline. He's going to catch the football.
Yeah.
I think LaFleur certainly is doing his job, Jen. I don't know how much the drops are going to be cleaned up. Like, at what point does that just become a part of who this team is? I mean, we're 11 games into the season. Like, I think that's just part of who this team is at this point.
And I don't really mind the pivot to the run. That's fine. Pivot to your strength. That's fine. But there's going to become a time when teams are going to say, and it may be this week, like, Josh Jacobs ain't beating us. Because typically when you go against offenses like this, you're like, you get to pick 2 of the 3. That was the rule of thumb back when I played. Who do you want to try to stop? Well, we got to stop Josh Jacobs because that limits our possessions on the field and time of possession. So let's stop him. And, I mean, all the receivers are kind of the same kind of guy. Let's figure what we have to do to keep Jordan Love, I believe, in the pocket and blitz him because he's not great against the blitz.
But when you have a back like Jacobs, Chew, I think it's really tough. I mean, I'm sure the 49ers at some point wanted to go, hey, we should probably just stop him. I'm sure the Colts against Malik Willis went, hey, let's not let Josh Jacobs beat us.
Yeah.
But when he has the numbers he does after contact, when he's breaking the tackles he is breaking, it becomes really tough to slow down that run game because of the individual and the effort that he's putting out there.
Gabe, they're not going to limit him to 22 yards.
Yeah.
That's not going to happen. It's kind of like Tyreek Hill in his prime. It's like, we're not going to hold him to 40 yards. Let him get his 80 yards. We just can't let him get, and I'm talking Josh Jacobs, we can't let him get that 125. Mm-hmm. I'm good with 80. That's stopping them. When you play against a great player like that, stopping them is 80 yards. So that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
I have a question regarding the pass catchers. Has it been to their detriment the way they're playing those guys with the amount of snaps everyone's getting instead of having your guys that are just always on the field? And like, is Dontavian Wicks, Jaden Reed, Christian Watson suffering from not being able to get in the game flow?
Well, I think that's something Chewy can answer. Chewy, how important is it for you guys, for pass catchers to be targeted regularly, to be in the game plan, to be on the field? If you're not getting the number of snaps that you maybe have in the past, does that stunt your growth?
It does. It does from the standpoint and not so much with tight ends, because you can't go to tight ends 15, unless you're Kelsey and you're split out and doing things like that. But you like to feel like the hot hand in basketball, right? So if Holmgren dials up a play for me and it's successful, I would expect another play for me maybe 3 plays down the road. And there is something to be said like that. When you're in and out of the game, the toughest thing I had to do was be a backup tight end. Toughest. Because you're in for 2 plays, you're out for 7, right? And then you're on the sideline sitting around and you're really not in the flow. You go in for another 3 plays and you're out for 9. That's what I was talking about early in the year, where I understand that no one has really separated themselves in the pack, but you got to feed your guys. You got to feed Josh Jacobs. You got to feed Kraft. You got to feed Reed.
But this to me, Gabe, sounds like an unintended consequence. This sounds to me like we just talked about the creativity. We just talked about how we think Matt LaFleur is doing a great job calling these games and leaning on the run and not deviating from the run. But the byproduct of that, the unintended consequence of that, is going to be that your pass catchers are getting fewer balls. And because you have so many talented pass catchers, you already knew that they were going to be at a premium this year.
Yeah, I think it could be, to Josh's point, and you don't want anybody to ever get a concussion, obviously, but if Dobbs is indeed down for this game, Now you know your top 3. Like, you don't have to worry about that. Those are the 3 that are out there. And even if you're running the football, them just being in the game, being in the flow, instead of going on the sideline. I got to, like you said, Chew, I can't imagine playing 2 snaps, then going for 7. Like, you kind of cool down in that 7 plays. Oh, now you've got to go out there and you've got to do something big and you have to do something explosive. So if you're relying now more on the 3 guys instead of trying to figure out, okay, well,
what combination of those guys?
Now you just have your 3 going into this game. That could be beneficiary for them.
And you know what's tougher as you get into the season? It's harder to catch a ball when it's cold. And it's harder to run routes. There's going to be slipping, I believe, because it always happens in Lambeau. There's going to be slipping and sliding. When it's 75 and you're playing at noon and it's nice and there's no slippage and the football's nice and tacky and your gloves are great, that changes when it's 20-something degrees. So they're not catching it when the weather's perfect. And I believe that this is 1,000% a concentration problem.
Because we've seen all these guys
or they're not doing it enough in practice.
Because we've seen all these guys make spectacular catches, right?
Yeah,
I don't think it's a skill thing. It's just sometimes they drop them.
But concentration, I think, goes back to getting in a flow, getting in a rhythm. You're locked in, then you're on the sideline. As much as you want to try to still be locked in, it's totally human nature to sort of...
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
wait, I'm back in? Okay, boom, I got to get that concentration level back to where it was, and I think that's natural, Chew. I think this is a great point by Joshy, that maybe the way that the offense is being called, and again, out of one side of our mouth we are saying, it's been great. We love da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da, but I think this might be an unintended consequence of that scheme.
We think these guys need to be professionals. That's well established. Like, you got to go out there and perform when you're asked to, but this is a lot of 2nd and 3rd year players. Like, they aren't what Chewy was by the time he became a starter. They weren't trained veterans. Like, Dontavian Wicks played 28 snaps last week, and then we expect him to go out there and, like, make a catch downfield, and it's like, we want you to.
It's hard.
But, you've played one of the last 4 snaps.
But this is why it's hard to be such a good team when you have the youngest team in the league back-to-back years. Like, because there's still growth that has to happen. All the growth didn't happen last year. There's still growth that has to happen in years 2, years 3, which is why it's so hard for this team to be this young and then try to catch the Detroit
Well,
Lions.
and I think you could also make the argument, guys, that growth is dependent on consistent play time, consistent snaps, right? Part of the reason that we watched that trajectory happen last year was because those guys were on the field and they were relied upon and they had to come to play. And this year you're saying, we still need you, right? But like, if you don't go in this series, this guy's going to go in this series. But I think it's really interesting. I would like for somebody to ask some of the players how the rhythm of the play calling is affecting their growth or evolution.
What I wonder, Jen, is if it's LaFleur just trying to keep everyone happy, and playing these guys. Because back in the day when I played, okay, it was me, it was Robert, it was Free, and then Beebs. And then if Terry Mickens or someone came in, it's a run play.
Yeah, how many snaps was Terry getting back in the day?
He wasn't.
Yeah.
And Anthony Morgan and guys like that, like, we're running the ball when you're in there. We might get you a catch or two. But, I mean, and I believe this offense, because everyone's favorite package is Zebra, which is 3 receivers, 1 tight end, 1 back. It should be Josh Jacobs, Kraft. It should be Watson, Dobbs, Reed. And they should be getting the most, with a sprinkling in of Wicks.
And Steven in the 262 weighing in saying the same thing, Chew. My issue with the receivers is that the number 5 and number 6 guys are getting way too many snaps. Who cares if those guys get reps? Stop playing them. Play your top 4 guys. Let them get into a rhythm. This is a really interesting point that Joshy brought up. We'll continue this conversation and dive back into our start bench cut list Thanksgiving version right after this on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Let me tell you about our good friends at the Ewald Automotive Group, because Ewald Automotive Group's Black Friday sales event is back, and it's going on now through November 30th, so just a few more days to take advantage, where you can get up to $10,000 in rebates, or up to 10% off, or 0% financing with Ewald's exclusive 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. Their biggest savings, lowest rates, maximum trade values, now through the month end at every Ewald location. With Ewald, it's easy. It all starts at ewaldauto.com.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy are back after this on 94.5 ESPN.
We do have one issue now. It is on 894 southbound, just south of National Avenue. Right lane's blocked with a broken down vehicle, but volume's really light, so we're really not seeing delays around the area with that. So everything else is looking pretty good. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today, mostly cloudy, a high of 41. Tonight, mostly cloudy with a low of 26. Weather's brought to you by Tsunami Express Car Wash, where you can expect nothing but the best unlimited wash memberships, state-of-the-art wash technology, and powerful free vacuums. Located in Oak Creek, Waukesha, Greenfield, and now Milwaukee. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Had a devastating knee injury, tore my ACL, tore my PCL, shredded my medial meniscus, and had an initial surgery. That really didn't hold. Had another follow-up surgery around 8 years later. That didn't work, and I didn't want to undergo another surgical procedure.
Enough with the surgeries. They didn't ease the pain, and recovery was brutal. Carmen heard about another treatment for pain relief, the non-invasive regenerative treatments at QC Kinetics.
I simply figured, heck, I'm going to pick up the phone and call QC Kinetics, and since I've been treated, my quality of life has dramatically gotten better, and I can't thank QC Kinetics enough.
These are the nation's leaders in regenerative medicine. QC Kinetics uses the body's own healing components to help provide relief and functionality.
10 months ago, I had difficulty walking up and down a flight of steps. Now I can do just about anything I desire. I'm back to the old me.
If you have joint pain, before you consider surgery, call QC Kinetics. The consultation is free.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
They say seeing is believing, and when you see what's inside at American Place Casino, you better believe you're gonna love it. Because when it comes to amazing gaming, we're a real game changer. With the most exciting of table games like blackjack, craps, and roulette, the newest slots, a sports book, restaurants, bars, and more. So if you're ready for excitement, we'll see you soon. American Place Casino. Change the game.
Must be 21 years of age or older. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, crisis counseling and referral services can be accessed by calling 1-800-GAMBLER, 1-800-426-2537.
All right, gentlemen, this is Emmett Smith on behalf of Depend, and I've got the perfect play. Run straight to your doctor's office for a life-changing catch. Because when prostate cancer is caught early, it's up to 99% treatable, and one blood test might be all it takes. And now through November, Depend is donating to the Prostate Cancer Foundation for select purchases. Talk about a great play.
From September 1st to November 30th, Depend is donating 40 cents to the Prostate Cancer Foundation for Depend Shield Guards Real Fit products purchased in the U.S. up to a maximum of $300,000 void in Mississippi.
5-hour energy. When I pull up to the parking lot, it's time to level up. Dial in, showing out for your team. Listen up, get you some. Stand the fan to give you what you need. Fan fuel, game time. Turn up the intensity. Team colors bleeding out. 5-hour energy. For a limited time, get the fan fuel flavor at 5hourenergy.com.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
What we need is a chart. And every week, we take the shirtless picture of Chew, and we move that to wherever the prediction is of how many wins that they have.
8, 6, 7. I think that's how it goes now, right?
8,
and they lost
6, 7, 5, 3, 0, 9.
On 94.5 ESPN.
Talk about something important. It is you. Taking care of your health and appearance is not just about looking good. It's about feeling strong and confident and ready to take on the world. At Quintessa Aesthetic Center, they make that easy. They have experts in advanced skincare, body contouring, anti-aging treatments, and Quintessa is here to help you stay sharp and at your best. When you look good, you feel even better. So why wait? This is the perfect time to reach out to Quintessa Aesthetic Center and take the first step towards a more confident you. Very, very interesting theory. And I'm not even sure if we were theorizing. You were just sort of asking, right, Joshy? Remind our loyal listeners what you were asking about the way the offense has sort of been constructed this season.
Yeah, with the inconsistent amount of snaps each wide receiver is getting, because there is a top three, but they all splitting. No one's really playing a full-time role at this point. If that inconsistency is somehow contributing to their mistakes as young players who are not getting constantly on the field.
So basically not getting the time, the actual in-game reps to keep evolving as pass catchers and contributors in the offense.
Correct. If you are coming off the field every second play and then missing 5 plays and then going back, it seems to me like it could be difficult to have the consistency when it comes to catching and all the things involved with playing the position.
Yeah, but to me this sounds like a philosophy because, and I didn't like it when they were rotating at guard. I think they're one of the few teams that do it. I don't like it. I like 5 guys. Now, if a guy's playing like crap, yes, then you replace them. But you play your best 5 guys the whole time.
To that, Chew, with just quickly on the offensive line, probably not a coincidence that when Jordan Morgan goes down and now they do just have a consistent 5 guys out there, the offensive lines looked really good, open up holes for Josh Jacobs. Probably
because
not a coincidence.
It's different. I mean, it's different. You know, I played with different tackles, you know, in the middle of a game. It's just you fit differently together. You got different bodies. It's just, you know, it's different. That's all I can say. That's why I like from that unit, yes, 5 guys the whole time across the board. But to me, this sounds like a philosophy of LaFleur.
So let me go through the snap counts, Chew, because I pulled them up on Pro Football Reference. Romeo Doubs has the most snaps of any of the pass catchers this season. He's playing 71% of the snaps, followed by Jaden Reed, 63, Christian Watson, 51. So if your eyes are telling you guys that Christian Watson is only on the field 50% of the times, you're right. That's exactly what the numbers are showing as well. Dontavian Wicks, 46%, Bo Melton, 23%, Malik Heath, 14%. If you go to the tight ends, Chew, Tucker Kraft is on the field 85% of the time. It drops off pretty heavily after that. So we are seeing, obviously, Tucker Kraft being the go-to tight end in the offense. But if you start looking at some of the other offenses in the league, if you look at the Detroit Lions, if you look at the Philadelphia Eagles, some of the elite offenses, I got to be honest, it's not that dramatically different. Amon-Ra has 90%. So you could make the argument there of but he's their number one.
Yeah.
He's their bona fide, no questions asked number one. The Packers still don't have that. Would you like to see one of the guys, Gabe, that we mentioned, be on the field 90% of the snaps?
Ideally, yes. And they had the success in the red zone this last week. They had success on third down, but I just think it's easier to have that success when you know who your guy is. And, hey, this is a money play for this guy.
Yeah. I don't understand the Dobbs Jaden Reed, because I think Jaden Reed's a better player. He's more explosive. I don't know why he is not on the field more.
Well, it's
is
clear.
he a small guy? Is he small?
Yeah, it's slot. I think it's also clear that they wanted Romeo Dobbs to be the number one guy, and they wanted him to be getting the Amon-Ra snaps. And then he had the issue with not showing up, and then that kind of changed everything for them, where now they're stuck in the in-between where everybody's sort of getting a little piece of the pie. And I think couldn't it be a part that, is it Jordan Love hasn't played that consistently, also has missed 2.5 games? That's not going to help any of those guys develop and be consistent. So, I don't know how much it is trying to get everybody their piece, but who can they rely on? I think Matt LaFleur just needs to make a decision. These are the guys we're relying on, and I'm sorry about you not getting what you think you deserve. Because if we can't count on you, you can't play you on the field. And you just getting 40%.
Well, but the problem is, okay, we're going to trust Romeo. Oh, Romeo just had a drop. Crap. All right, we're going to trust Christian. Christian had a drop. Crap. Dontavian, we're trusting you. Oh, that's a drop. God, they just, anytime it seems like, okay, Christian Watson's turning that corner. Big drop last week. And it just seems like that's what's been going on. I mean, we've had a couple of big drops from Romeo since he's been back, despite him having 2 games. It seems even though they want to trust one of them, then they give him a reason not to trust him.
Right. What I'm saying is just trust them, though. Just pick your guys. If he's going to drop it, he's going to drop it.
Sort
sometimes.
of manifest. You're saying manifest it.
Right.
Manifest Romeo Dobbs into being your bona fide number one. Get his snap count up closer to what Amon-Ra's is with the Lions. I was also looking at the Eagles guys. Devontae Smith plays 74% of the snaps for his team. Now they have Saquon Barkley, who is also out on the field for 75, I want to say, % of their snaps, which is not all that different from where Josh Jacobs is with the Green Bay Packers. He is at 64% of the snaps.
A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith have both missed time though this year. So that's probably why that snap count's a little low for the season.
Let me just throw this out to you guys. Do you think they could be doing it to keep their price tag down?
I sure hope not.
So they can have them for a bunch of years.
Sure hope not.
Because Christian Watson plays 50% of the plays. I don't think he's having as good as a season as he was last year. You think they're doing it to keep their price tag down so they can keep more of them? As opposed to Christian Watson going out catching 80 balls, having a good year. Not great, probably a number 2, but his price tag right now, if I'm signing him next year, he's probably MVS money. Where if he had 80 catches, he might be creeping up on 20.
It's to the detriment of the team, and I don't think they would do that. If they are doing that, Chew, to me, that's to the detriment of the team, and why that's way overthinking it. Don't you want to have success now instead of trying to? Well, if we hold him back now, then we sign him to a contract, then we unleash him. Why not just unleash him now?
I think it's baked into the cake too, guys. If you want to be an elite franchise, you recognize you're going to have to pay players, even if you don't want to. In order to compete at the high level, in order to be, trying to compete for championships, you have to pay guys. So I don't think it would behoove them to be shh, let's keep it secret. Let's see. We know he could be really, really, really good, but if we don't play him, it'll take him longer to evolve, and then he'll pop after we sign him to a less than lucrative deal. Let's see. Ryan in Milwaukee weighing in saying, I think the issue is outside of Dobbs and Reed, no one has earned more snaps. Watson has either been injured or has the dropsies. Wicks also has too many drops. And Josh, that's where you were saying, just manifest somebody into the one.
Yeah.
Tell somebody he is the one. You are our guy. I was almost going to say the weakest link. Wow, my brain went into old game show mode. And then you're saying you're going to be on the field for whatever the number was that we said for Amon-Ra. Was it 80%? 90% of the snaps.
Well, let me ask you this. All right, Christian Watson, if you're going to pay him, you got to pay him next year. This year he has 20 catches and 2 touchdowns. Let's double that. Let's say he has 40 catches and 4 touchdowns. What are you paying him, Gabe? What's your first Goody lowball offer to Christian Watson?
I'm not giving him an offer. I'm going to see what he does in year 4. Whatever number you're going to potentially want. Because he's going to reject it because he's going to go, oh, I can have a big 4th year. So then you're going to have to
go to free agency.
Yeah.
Then he's going to go to free agency.
But I'm not going to take the risk. I'm not going to take the risk of signing him to a 4-year deal and have that's overvalued, hoping he can live up to it. I'm not going to do that. And I don't think you can go in and lowball him, because whatever number that he has earned through 3 years of his career, like he's gonna turn that down flat.
So before we wrap this conversation, guys, I would like to know what your ideals are. I would like to know what your ideal percentages are. You can take the break if you want to think about it, but what does your ideal offense look like from a snap count standpoint? Obviously, you've got Josh Jacobs out there on the field. Obviously, you want to have Romeo Doubs out there on the field. But the rest of the breakdown, how do you see those guys filling those snaps? We'll talk about that right after this on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Before we do, guys, I do want to tell you about my friends over at, drum roll please, as my pages stick together, Accutrans. Thank you, Joshy, for jumping in my ear. It's Accutrans. They're a veteran-owned business dedicated to providing unmatched corporate, personal, and event-related transportation that you will use again and again. Guys, I got some travel coming up, some intense travel coming up that is going to force me to go through O'Hare. I know. Most of you would rather have a illness over the holidays than go down to O'Hare and travel there through the months of November and December. But I will be using my friends at Accutrans to get me down there, to help me navigate the hustle and bustle and get me there on time, because their transportation is easy, safe, and dependable. If you visit their website, AccuTransGroup.com, they'll give you a quote. You can book a reservation today. That's right. If you know you have holiday travel coming up, go ahead and book that transportation today. It's AccuTransGroup.com for reliable and safe transportation, so you don't have to deal with the craziness this holiday season.
Never miss out on a second of the show. Find Jen, Gabe, and Chewy on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts with Wisconsin On Demand. Sponsored by Celsius Essential Energy Drink.
Things are moving along still really well out there, even though we've got a broken down vehicle that is on 894 southbound at South of National. Right lane is blocked, but nobody's slowing down past it. Well, you should kind of slow down because, move over, slow down, but it's not backing things up, so we are in good shape. And check out the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today. Mostly cloudy with a high of 41. Tonight, mostly cloudy, a low of 26. Weather is brought to you by Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center in Waukesha. Always have a slice of summer by playing Pro Tour courses on one of their 12 simulators. Book a bay for just $35 Monday through Thursday. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Wins, and more wins are waiting to be uncovered at Potawatomi. Get ready to find yours in a winter stash of $300,000 in prizes this December. Play with your rewards card for entries, drawings on 3 thrilling Thursdays. Some seriously big wins are waiting for you. Winter Stash at Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee. More info at paysbig.com. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
Are you looking for reliable transportation this holiday season? I've got you covered. It's Jen Latta from ESPN Milwaukee, and with holiday parties, family gatherings, and year-end events on the horizon, I trust Accutrans Group to handle all of my private transportation needs. Whether it's a corporate function or festive celebration, Accutrans gets me there safely and on time. As a veteran-owned business, they pride themselves on top-notch service that you can count on. Booking is easy, stress-free, and reliable. Just visit AccuTransGroup.com to reserve your holiday ride today. That's AccuTransGroup.com.
Hey guys, it's ESPN Milwaukee's Gabe Neitzel here to give you some advice. If you're making plans to propose to that special someone in your life, the Jewelry Center has to be your stop for the ring. It's what I did. They're the best place to shop for diamond engagement rings in Milwaukee for a reason. I didn't know what to get, but with help of a Pinterest board, the Jewelry Center and their team of specialists took care of everything from start to finish. Naturally mined diamonds, lab-grown diamonds, whatever you're in the market for, when it comes to an engagement ring, the Jewelry Center has it. Find locations and inventory online at shoptjc.com.
Hey, this is ESPN Milwaukee's Jen Latta. Guys, let's talk about something important. You. Taking care of your health and appearance isn't just about looking good. It's about feeling strong, confident, and ready to take on the world. At Quintessa Aesthetic Center, they make it easy. With experts in advanced skincare, body contouring, and anti-aging treatments, Quintessa is here to help you stay sharp and at your best. Trust me, when you look good, you feel even better. So why wait? Visit myquintessa.com and take the first step towards a more confident you.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place. For changes big and small. Loud or quiet. Find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay. Things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
ABC Wednesdays.
Y'all complain all day. We want books. We want paper towels in the classroom. Bet you want raises too.
I'm still waiting on the paper towels. Abbott Elementary returns with a new season.
We asked the district for more after-school programs. They gave us $50 for class pets instead.
Critics cheer. Abbott Elementary continues to be one of the funniest and most beloved shows on TV.
What y'all doing out there? Taking bribes? Proud of y'all.
Abbott Elementary, Wednesdays, 9:30, 8:30 Central on ABC and stream on Hulu.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
TBD.
No, that's not how this
Attaboy.
works.
Attaboy.
That's not how any of this
That's
works.
how you make content.
What do you mean? What do you mean? That's how it works for him.
What's TBD mean?
To be determined.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
To be
Did you hear him say to be dumb?
To be done. Did Joshy say that?
He did.
On 94.5 ESPN.
We've been playing a little start bench cut this morning on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. We give you 3 options. You decide who you want to start, who you want to bench, and who you want to cut. I got a lot of Thanksgiving-themed ones here. But for the sake of this conversation, guys, let's do personnel groupings. Chew, start, bench, cut. Let's stay with the 10s. 10, 11, 12. Are you starting, benching, or cutting 10, 11, 12 personnel? For the sake of the Green Bay Packers, for the sake of this conversation.
What are those? I don't even know what they are. That's not what we called them back in the day. What's 10?
1.
Regular? Is that regular?
What's regular?
2 backs,
No.
1 tight end, 2 receivers.
Would you rather stay in the 20s? Would you rather be 21 or 22 personnel? 10 personnel, 1 running back, 4 wide receivers. 11 personnel, 1 running back, 1 tight end, 3 wide receivers. Obviously, we all know that there are 5.
That's my favorite. So that's
11
the best.
personnel.
I'm getting, well, in today's football, you probably got to bench the 1 back, 4 receivers.
Although the Packers have run that.
What's the last one?
12.
What's the last one?
2 tight
12
ends.
is what?
2 tight ends, two receivers.
That's Tiger. I'm old school. That's
Tiger.
Sorry. If Musgrave was there, I would stay with Tiger, but the fact that he's not, I would cut that. But when Musgrave is back, I would move that to bench and then move the 4 wides to cut.
Gabe?
Yes, so you're cutting you're cutting 10, you're starting the 11, and I'm benching 12.
Until Musgrave gets healthy and can be back out there with the 2 tight end set. Okay, given that context, Gabe, you were working during the break on what ideally you would have, again, recognizing you're not running the same 5 guys out there, skill position guys out there every single time. But ideally, who do you want on the field, and what snap percentages would you like to see from their offensive players?
So and again, mine would be radical because I've made the decision that Dontavian Wicks gets open so often. I am going to live with the drops and hope it's growing pains and just fight my way through it the way the Packers fought through the Jordan Love growing pains early last season. So I would say I would have Reed out there about 90% of the time. I would say Wicks 80% of the time. Watson, and this is just for this upcoming game because Dobbs is out. Wicks 80% of the time. Watson about 50% of the time, or Melton or whoever else you want to be the 4th wide receiver, just 15% of the time.
I got to write that down again. Give me it one more time.
Reed about 90% of the time.
So Reed is your number 1.
Yes.
In this ideal world, Jaden Reed is your number 1. 90% of the time, that is comparable to what we were saying earlier to what Amon-Ra St. Brown is doing for the Lions.
You can just line him up in so many different spots, and they've been putting him in the backfield a lot. I think having him 90%, I think he has proven he is the most consistent
dependable
that you have. So I would have him 90% of the time. I would have Wicks 80% of the time. Watson about 50% of the time.
Which is what he's at right now.
Yeah. So keep him right around there, and then whoever you want to be the Melton or Malik Heath, whoever you want to be the 4th wide receiver this week, I would say 15%.
And then what about the tight end?
Kraft, 90%.
And Kraft right now is at 86%.
What if Musgrave was back, though? Yeah, but that's because there's no Musgrave.
Yeah, but I'm just saying for this week. Musgrave won't be back so that's what I would want this week. Yeah.
Okay.
Because otherwise I'd have to factor in Dobbs in there somewhere too.
Sam Laporta for the Detroit Lions, and we're just using them as the baseline guys because they are the top team right now in the NFC. Sam Laporta at 70%. But I think to a man, Chew, would you say that the Packers have the better tight end in that situation? Or do you think Sam Laporta is better than Tucker Kraft?
I think Laporta's... it's probably a push. Laporta's a better receiver, I think, than Kraft, but Kraft is a better blocker.
Do you? And what about Josh Jacobs? Did you say, Gabe?
No. I mean, he's out there. I don't know. I mean, my guess
90%?
is... Yeah, whatever it is for a starting running back, yeah.
Not this week, though. Coming after last week, I think it's going to be a 50-50 with Jacobs.
Matt LaFleur indicated we're basically going to use him as much as we possibly can.
Josh Jacobs.
Yes.
Really?
Okay. He says he's going to trust Josh and how much Josh thinks he can be out there.
So 75%? You like a 75% of the snaps for Josh Jacobs?
Yeah, I mean, his is hard because his snap count to me is not as important as his touches. So if he has 20 touches, I think you can easily be happy with that.
Well, let me ask you this. Would you like to see the Packers use Josh Jacobs the way that the Eagles are using Saquon Barkley? Do you think he is capable of that workload? Do you think he is capable of that production?
Yeah, he's shown it. He was the leading back in all the NFL in terms of touches and snaps on the field. So he's capable of it. He is getting older, but he hasn't shown many signs of slowing down the more and more he keeps getting the ball.
Yeah.
So I'm going to trust him and how he says he feels.
Chewy, do you like Gabe's snap count percentage breakdown for this week against the Dolphins?
Not receivers.
What do you like? What would you do?
Receivers. I would go Reed 1, Watson 2. See, you have to have someone that can take the top off of a defense. You just have to. Dobbs can't do it. Dobbs isn't fast enough.
Do you think they are misusing Watson then? If we're telling you that he is only playing 50% of the snaps and you are saying they need somebody to take the top off, are you saying that they are misusing him, underusing him?
Yes, I think so. I think he should be taking the top off twice a game, which they kind of have. You know, I mean, some of them have been jump balls. Who'd they play for before San Fran? He had the big catch there.
Yeah, the Bears game.
Was that the Bears where he caught in traffic? So I just think you need someone to take the top off. He is what he is as a route runner. I just see I see Dobbs as a 3. He doesn't do anything great, but he does a lot of things nice. I mean, Jaden Reed, the way he started off the season with explosive plays and touchdowns, I think they've gotten away from that. And Dontavian Wicks is too sloppy a route runner. Yeah, he's gonna drop balls and he's gonna find holes, but he's not disciplined, Gabe. Not saying
he's their best route runner.
Going to be.
Yeah, he's their best route runner, and I don't think it's particularly close.
You think over Reed?
Yes.
You don't think Reed?
Reed can't beat man. That's the book's out.
If I can't trust you, you can't play. I'm sorry.
Right, so
we're
not
playing.
So wait, we're going to
play anybody.
Wait, we're going to go. We're going to go.
Yeah,
to the We're going to 2 tight ends, 3 running backs.
Ben Sims time, baby.
Jen, what's 3 tight ends, 2 backs? Y personnel. Let's just play Y personnel.
You can't trust any of these
Y
receivers.
personnel.
Oh, did you say 1 back, 3 tight ends?
No, he wants 2 backs.
2 backs.
2 backs.
2 backs.
3 tight ends.
23? No wide receivers?
Yeah, correct. Correct.
Or goal line.
Yeah, or you could go 32. We could just run the wing T.
Let me ask you, Gabe, because I think this is an interesting point that Chewy is bringing up. Are they underutilizing Christian Watson given what you have seen from him? And you got to take the drops into consideration.
Mm-hmm.
You got to, that's a part of the package. It's a part of the resume. Are they underutilizing Christian Watson as a weapon?
I don't think so, because like you said, Chewy, he's the routes aren't clear, aren't crisp. I don't think you just run him on a 9 route and just have him, run streaking down the field every play. You've got to have him do some other stuff in there as well. So I think if he's out there 50% of the time, that's enough threat to take the top off. So many teams just want to keep you in front anyways and are trying to avoid having those big plays over the top. So I'd rather have guys like Reed and Wicks who can kind of run some of those crossing routes, get some of the shorter, more intermediate routes. And if Watson's out there 50% of the time, I still think that's enough to threaten to go off, take the top off.
From a tight end standpoint, you love a guy that can take the top off because it makes your job so much easier. So much easier, because it takes that safety out of there and it just opens up so many holes. I'm just talking from personal experience. I love guys who can just occupy two guys.
It does feel like if we could hybrid these wide receivers.
Oh, yeah.
Right? If we could take a little piece of this guy, a little piece of this guy, a little piece of this guy, we could have the best wide receiver in the league.
We could have A.J. Brown. Sick.
This gets to the point I was trying to make in the preseason of, like, Romeo Doubs is limited. He's the best at catching the football, but he is zero threat down the field. The reason he's always making difficult catches with guys all over him is because he can't separate from them. Dontavian Wicks is the closest they have to sort of that hybrid. Reed is clearly best in the slot, and then Watson is what he is right now. He sometimes will catch a deep ball over some guys, but he's not going to do a whole lot in the middle or intermediate. So Doubs playing all those snaps necessitates Watson being on the field more because it is so limited when he's out there.
Can we agree on this, though? We've been talking about this for 2 segments now. In order for them to become elite, it falls all upon the receiving core.
Yeah.
I think that's fair. I mean, it's especially if you are resigned to the fact that the defense is what it is. If you're resigned like Gabe is that the pass rush is not going to improve, because you could certainly hope and pray and cross your fingers that side of the ball gets better as the season goes on. But if we're talking specifically about the offense, yes. And Jordan Love has a little bit of that responsibility as well. Jordan Love's got to continue, improving his decision-making, not putting guys in bad positions. But I do think, yes. But again, this is such a fascinating conversation, guys, because it goes back to what Joshy said. When they're not being used, when they're not able to get into a rhythm, how much is it on them then when they are, quote-unquote, underperforming? How much of the game plan needs to be...
I haven't gloated.
Is he gloating? Come on, he's gloating a little bit.
What do you mean gloating? Because he made a great point?
Yes. Josh, is there a little pep in your step?
I haven't taken to gloating yet. Maybe I will in the last 13 minutes of the program.
Exactly.
Here.
Come back to Jen, Gabe, and Chewy when Joshy will be pounding his chest for the duration of the segment.
I thought I was just trying to get a good conversation going. And I think it is. I think we've done a good job here.
No, I know. You're like me. We don't gloat. We just don't.
Excuse me?
You claimed victory on the
not in our DNA.
Prediction.
Still had the best prediction this week, guys.
Yeah, and how many brain cells did you use for that prediction? A quarter of one?
All that was right there was Chewy going, I think I would be gloating here, so Joshy should. That was what that was.
So wait, so he wants you to
that
gloat.
was exactly it.
So when he gloats, it seems like it's the appropriate thing to do. All right. Glad we got to the bottom of that.
I don't love what we're saying here, which is that when we have one good idea, we should be like, hey, all right, everybody, we're going home. Like, one interesting conversation here. And,
showmanship.
Okay. We got to take a break on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Come back to hear Joshy gloat right after this.
Make sure this weekend you've got your freezer stocked up with Palermo's Pizza. Look, you're obviously going to be making a big meal tomorrow. You're going to have some leftovers from that, but you're going to want to mix it up every once in a while, and that's where Palermo's comes in. And they've got a slice, I promise you, that is going to fit your appetite. With Palermo's, Urban Pie, Connie's, Surfer Boy, Screamin' Sicilian, all these different brands under the Palermo's umbrella, you will find a slice that you absolutely love because Palermo's, they've been doing it right here in Wisconsin for 60 years. So when it comes to premium quality frozen pizza, nobody does it better. Find them in your grocer's frozen food aisle. Palermo's. Flavor is our family's business.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy continues next on 94.5 ESPN.
Rick, describe some of our wow Christmas gifts while Sarah and I name the prices and add a little commentary.
Okay. A 1.5 carat total weight diamond bolo bracelet.
Amazingly unique. Just $1,598.
Half carat total weight inside outside diamond hoop earrings.
Just $698.
1 carat total weight is just $898.
A fabulous 3 carat oval created diamond.
But we only have a few of these.
Just $3,998.
A 1 carat total weight created diamond tennis bracelet.
Just $898.
We also have the big 1 carat total weight natural diamond tennis bracelet for just $1,798.
And from now until Christmas, we have 18 months same as cash financing.
With approved credit.
And a delightful gift for you with every purchase of at least $300.
Merry Christmas.
Welcome to Kessler's.
Find the Kesslers nearest you at KesslersDiamonds.com.
Let's get the latest from Lambeau. This is your Green and Gold Fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Tri-City National Bank, your hometown bank. Tri-City National Bank offers a full suite of personal and business banking products at 28 convenient locations. Open your account today at the community bank that was voted Milwaukee's best bank. Learn more at tcnb.com.
Tomorrow, the first of back-to-back Thursday night games for the Packers. It starts with a Thanksgiving matchup against the Dolphins, who have been streaking lately with 3 straight wins. Here's what Matt LaFleur had to say about them.
I think their defense is outstanding. I think they do a great job in multiple areas, whether it's defending the pass. It's really tough to get explosive plays on them. They're very good in the red zone, third down.
Temperatures projected to be around 20 degrees for kickoff. Kickoff from Lambeau Field set for 7:15 tomorrow night.
This has been your Green and Gold Fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Tri-City National Bank.
Concerned about fraud? Tri-City's got your back. Use debit card alerts. Help stop a card hack. You'll get notified when your card's being used so you can prevent your account from abuse. Tri-City National Bank, member FDIC.
Ewald Automotive Group's Black Friday sales event is back. Now through November 30th, get up to $10,000 in rebates, plus up to 10% off or 0% financing. All with Ewald's exclusive 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. Our biggest savings, lowest rates, maximum trade values, and huge selection. Now through month end at every Ewald location.
Go to EwaldAuto.com.
On select models with approved credit, all rebates and incentives to dealer. See dealer for details. Expires month end.
Ready for the best Black Friday prices on household essentials? You'll find them at Fleet Farm. Doors open Friday at 5 a.m. with a free plush penguin for the first 500. Then enjoy great deals like KT Basic Blend Bird Seed for just $9.99. Diamond Crystal Softener Salt is on sale for $3.99 a bag. And premium hardwood fuel pellets are only $4.99 a bag. Plus, if you can't wait, early Black Friday shopping starts Wednesday at 8 p.m. online only. Only at Fleet Farm.
Are you looking for a way to make an impact this holiday season? Donate to Life Navigator Soap Suds Drive. It's simple. Your donation of body wash, hand soap, lotion, or laundry pods will help local kids and adults with disabilities stay safe, happy, and healthy all year. Please consider donating this holiday season to the Life Navigator Soap Suds Drive. Learn more on how you can donate at lifenavigators.org. Life Navigators has been your disability partner for 75 years. Learn more at lifenavigators.org.
You're listening to Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
I don't know which is which, but here's what I do.
Yes, all right.
I take the plus and I put it to the plus. I take the minus and I put it to the minus.
Yeah, but the jacker things don't have the...
Yeah, they do.
Where?
Sure do. On the handles.
What's a jacker thing? Is it something that your wife keeps in the drawer?
He meant jumper cables.
On 94.5 ESPN.
Here we go.
What does a gloating Joshy sound like?
I got nothing.
I'm the best. I piss excellence. That whole thing.
Can't say that word.
Well, Ricky Bobby can.
That's the movies.
It's a movie. They do a lot of things in the movies that you can't do on, radio.
Yeah.
Turns out they edit those when they put them on television.
Chewy, I got a few more start bench cuts for you to wrap up the show. You ready?
Okay.
Start, bench, cut your shoptions, which are your shopping options. Black Friday, Cyber Monday, Small Business Tuesday.
Cut Small Business Tuesday.
You're not a community guy.
Today's...
How many small businesses do you own? You're cutting it? What are you doing? You kidding me?
This is an excellent point by Gabe. You are a small business owner.
Bench, Black Friday, and then do whatever with Cyber. Because everything's Cyber today.
Start Cyber Monday.
Right?
Well, yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah.
So it's probably cut Cyber Monday because everything, like every Black Friday deal is like on the internet as well. So Cyber Monday is gone, but you're benching Black Friday because here's the thing: Black Friday doesn't even exist anymore. Every Black Friday deal started last week.
I saw that.
Like everything's going on last week. Like Black Friday doesn't start this upcoming Friday. It started weeks ago.
They got to still be doing those like doorbuster things so that people camp out for, right? Like
I don't think so.
But they got to be trying to bring people in.
People, why not? If they just go to Walmart.com, go buy it from there. Everybody just does everything online.
If I were to gather, I would say
Gabe
there's some
just
online
killed
only.
Black Friday.
I have to imagine there are store-only deals. I have to.
I know you want to imagine that. Maybe there are, but I'm guessing all the bigger ones are also available online.
Start, bench, cut the turducken, the turkey, the duck, or the chicken chew. Start, bench, cut, turkey, duck, chicken.
Cut the turkey.
That's right. That's my guy.
I'm not huge on dark meat, so cut the chicken.
You're just cutting everything?
And then bench the chicken. No, bench the duck and keep the chicken.
Okay, I was about to say, I'm not big on dark meat, so let's go ahead and start the duck. What?
Gabe, start.
But I'm with Jen. Turkey's just
so overrated. Start, bench, cut. Thanksgiving movies, Gabe. Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. Charlie Brown Thanksgiving. Garfield Thanksgiving.
Yeah, that's easy.
Not a lot of Thanksgiving movies, if you weren't sure.
You start Planes, Trains, Automobiles. You bench Charlie Brown Thanksgiving. I've never even heard or seen Garfield's Thanksgiving. That's the easiest cut of all time.
All right.
I watched Planes, Trains last night.
So good, right?
Yeah, it's a must.
So
you have
good.
to watch
Have to do it. I think I'll do it tonight.
And then Friday I'll watch Elf.
Because you start the Christmas season. That makes sense to me. All right, so speaking of planes, trains, and automobiles, Chew, start, bench, cut, planes, trains, automobiles.
Cut trains, bench cars, keep planes.
I'd start the car.
I'd start the car too. I mean, we're all cutting the train though, right?
When's the last time you went on a train?
It's the most inefficient form of travel.
Totally. If we had high-speed rail like Europe does, though, I'm in.
Yeah.
I'm 100% in.
About the only time I would consider it is to go down to Chicago. Like if I'm going to be down there for a little while, because depending upon where you're staying, you don't need the car, and then if you bring your car, you got to park it somewhere and pay for it. That's about the only time I would consider a train.
Thanks for hanging out with Jen, Gabe, and Chewy on this Thanksgiving Eve. Will D and Tausch is next on ESPN Milwaukee. Have a safe and blessed holiday, everybody. We will be back with you Friday.
We'll be here Friday
after
morning.
A Packers victory. Manifesting.
Westbound 94, we've got a crash now. This is right about at Sunny Slope Road, off on the right shoulder. Looks like the right lane is partially blocked as well with emergency crews on scene. So watch for a little bit of a backup